Welcome. Welcome, my fellow Toastmasters and our esteemed guests. I am profoundly grateful to be the speaker today. Toastmasters is very, very special to me. I joined Toastmasters the third week in February of 2019. Maybe I got to do 3 weeks in person. And then in March, the world changed. And I'm so blessed that I have gotten to be here at Toastmasters during this crazy time of the world. A scary story. Thinking about what scary story shall I tell you? Life is filled with scary stories, right? If you're alive, you have lived through a scary story. I've been through cancer. That's a scary story. Who wants to hear about that? First grade was scary for me. Coming to my first Toastmasters was scary for me. But I digress. I think the scary story that I want to talk about today is yesterday I went to the DMV. The DMV that's a scary place. Those lines, those are the longest lines. Men grow beards in those lines. Most women come out of there with an STD. Thank God we have masks. Dear God in heaven, if we didn't have masks. We're supposed to not be standing close to somebody. How do you do that at the DMV? It's impossible, people. So I got a memo telling me I had to remove my car from my garage in my apartment building. And like I said, I'm a cancer survivor. And that car has not been driven since 2017. That's a scary situation. How much is that going to cost to get back to driving? Whew. I'm breaking out into a little bit of a sweat and how much my repair bills have been the past 2 weeks, back and forth to a fabulous mechanic. Yet, how did I make it happen? I tell you, I made it happen by taking one step at a time and one bus ride at a time. Yes, I ride the bus. That's a scary story. I got to tell you, I'm a little tired of living a Quentin Tarantino film. Yesterday, the two guys on the bus, they were talking about guns. And then they said, do you have a gun? Mamacita, you've got a gun. I just had my big file with all my DMV papers. I was so happy to get off that bus. And yes, I had to drive a car for the first time in 4 years, because when you get a new battery in the car, you've got to put miles on the car. And the last time that I drove the car, people, I looked like that. I know that's a bit of a scary story. But in reality, I looked pretty good bald. And yes, I'm trying to get a picture up that's not coming up, but I am walking through my fear. That's me during radiation. My little Stella dog went with me the whole way. I know I look terrific because I'm 30 pounds thinner. That's what happens when you're sick. I was so scared to be bald. But you know what? I look pretty damn good bald. The last time I drove, I was that bald. So I put on a wig to try to look like me. And the trick about a wig is you want to put on a hat and kind of mess it up. So I'm out there driving in my wig to try to look like me in case I got stopped. In reality, it wasn't so scary to be bald. And I had fun with it. This was my favorite wig. A friend of mine from high school who was a survivor of breast cancer, she sent me this wig. Oh my God, I love this wig, right? Because it's thicker than my own hair. And then I got a topper because a friend gave me a topper. Everybody needs a good topper. Just saying. The very week that I shaved my head, because that's what the oncologist tells you to do, is to shave your head before you start chemo. I got an audition for a series regular on a sitcom on NBC. So my other friend told me I had to go buy a wig. This was the first wig. This one made me feel most like me. And no, I didn't get that. I didn't get that part, but American Housewife, this is the kind of hair that that actress actually had on that show. I felt pretty good that I actually chose a wig that was the actual look of the actress who got the show. Profoundly, Toastmasters has been a lifesaver for me. A lot of you didn't know that I was coming out of that story and finding my pathway into a new story. Yes, pathways is a big deal here at Toastmasters. I can't tell you exactly what your pathway will be, but I can guarantee you that it will profoundly change your life. I am dyslexic, so the word of the day is usually very difficult for me. I mispronounce it usually. Profoundly, I can do. Profoundly, I can sing. Profoundly, I can cheer. But some days I attack that word of the day with all the gusto, and everybody here has my back. And hey, I may say it wrong, but it's like that game when you're in school and you just fall back. Everybody here at Toastmasters has your back and cheers you, even if you profoundly mispronounce the word of the day. I am very grateful to be here, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to try this speech. And I will do it again because practice, practice, practice. 10,000 hours, that's what we all have to do. Thank you so much. My name's Rebecca O'Brien.
Rebecca, thank you once again for sharing with us such intimate moments of your life and doing it all with such a great sense of humor.